Struggling to get your diesel engine started on a cold morning or noticing poor performance and thick exhaust smoke? You might be dealing with a P04AA trouble code. This technical designation stands for Exhaust Pressure Control, Valve B Circuit Intermittent. While this is a generic code that can appear on various OBD2-compliant vehicles, we see it most often on diesel platforms like those from Volkswagen, Audi, or heavy-duty domestic trucks here in the States. The Exhaust Pressure Control Valve, or EPC, is a solenoid-controlled valve that regulates back pressure. This is crucial during cold American winters because it helps increase cabin heat, aids in cold starting, and helps defrost your windshield faster. The B in the code does not mean a second valve. It usually indicates a specific part of the system circuit, or a specific level of severity. The word intermittent makes this tricky, as it means the problem comes and goes. Your powertrain control module uses data from the exhaust back pressure sensor, the intake air temperature sensor, and the manifold absolute pressure sensor to run this valve. If the electrical signals get messy, the computer disables the system to prevent damage. Symptoms often include an illuminated check engine light, failing an emissions test, and generic poor engine performance. The causes are usually a failed valve, damaged wiring, or rarely a bad computer. To troubleshoot this, start with a visual inspection. Look for burnt wires or loose connectors near the exhaust system, as high heat often creates brittle wiring. If that looks okay, you will need a digital multimeter. Disconnect the solenoid and set your meter to ohms to check the internal resistance of the valve. Connect your leads between the solenoid power terminal and the ground terminal. If the meter reads OL, which means out of limits, the internal coil is broken, and you need a new valve. Next, check the power side. With the cold engine off and the key in the on position, set your meter to DC volts. You should see around 12 volts at the harness connector. If not, you have a wiring break between the fuse box or computer and the valve. You also need to verify the ground circuit. Switch your meter back to ohms and check for continuity between the harness ground pin and the chassis of the vehicle. If you do not have a solid ground, the valve will never open. Since this is an intermittent code, wiggle the wires while you are testing. If the numbers on your meter jump around while you move the harness, you have found a loose connection. If all wiring tests pass and the valve is good, the issue might be the PCM itself, but that is rare. If these electrical tests seem overwhelming, it is best to take your truck to a diesel specialist to avoid throwing parts at the problem.